So we're going back to basics with today's video because I realized that quite a number of you are searching for this on YouTube and other platforms. How to get a girlfriend in 8 simple steps. You ready? I certainly am. Let's go. Welcome back. My name is Jessica and this is my YouTube channel. So if you'd like to engage with me beyond, the videos that I put out on the channel, maybe you have personal burning questions you'd like me to answer, you can do so by quickly joining Patreon, my Patreon community. Go to patreon.com/JessicaOS and I will join you for a live video chat, one-on-one. You got that right. All right, so let's jump into today's video. How to get a girlfriend. Now, it's interesting just how many people are searching for this particular video on this platform, and I could feel it, and that's why I'm creating it. So without much ado, let's jump right in. Number one, you absolutely need to know what you want in a girl. Okay? Now, there's nothing like walking around in a supermarket, not knowing exactly why you're there, and just sort of sampling everything that hits your eye, right? Walking up to the tomatoes and the oranges and the milk and the eggs, and it is no way to start anything. You need to know exactly who you want from their physical attributes, the kind of personality you're looking for, something that obviously can complement yours, etc., etc. You absolutely need to be sure of the kind of woman you want. There are people who are physical. They would go for, oh, I want a girl who's curvy. I want her to look a certain kind of way. She has to be light-skinned or dark-skinned. I mean, to each his own. But really, define in your mind what kind of girl you like. And I'm sure with social media, you have actually observed that you gravitate more towards certain kinds of women. That might be a good place to start. It might mean that you're actually interested in that particular look, which is not a bad thing. To each his own. Some people like, for instance, skinny women. Others like them with a bit of flesh. Others like them really chubby. And that is absolutely fine. To each his own, and you deserve to be with whoever you want. So, once you're able to define the kind of woman that you want, physically, personality-wise, in terms of even their dreams and ambitions, now it's time to look. Number two, before you go in there and start looking, you need to do some proper introspection. In other words, the pointer here is work on yourself. Now, you can't be out there demanding or wanting a certain kind of person when you are not that type of person anyway. It's almost as if you are going to be in the whole double standards category. For instance, if you gravitate more towards people who are lean and fit, question you should ask yourself is, are you lean and fit yourself? Or if you gravitate towards people who are on the heavier side or who can intellectually stimulate your mind, question I ask you is, are you someone who can stimulate the other person's mind? I mean, don't get me wrong, to each his own. Maybe this other person isn't even looking for someone on the same level, but most of the time, people who give off certain vibes are looking for the same kind of vibrations from the other person who's coming to them. So do some introspection, really assess yourself. Who are you? What do you want? Where are you going? What are your expectations? Once you're able to clearly define the kind of person that you are, what you will tolerate and not tolerate, what your values are, what you'll stand for and what you won't, I think that once you get through that, you're able to correctly assess the kind of person that will also match you realistically. Now, another thing you might want to do is to work on your confidence, and especially if you discover that you're not a very confident guy. Nobody wants a guy who can't even speak. You're in this girl's presence and it seems as if her aura is so overpowering that you simply cannot speak. You're lost for words, you're nervous and sweating around her. Women like confident men, okay? A woman likes a man who can just come up to her and tell her what he wants and also take whatever the end result is in his stride, okay? So if you lack confidence, I actually have a video on how you can build your confidence, and you should totally check that out. I'll leave a link to the video in my description below. So once we have that out of the way, we can go into number 3, and that is to approach your desired girl. So now it should make sense why I said that it's important that you get to know yourself and do some introspection yourself, because that also helps with even how you approach this girl. Now, it could be in person, it could be on social media, it could be via text directly to her phone, or it can even be getting someone close to her to introduce her to you. Now, whatever step you decide to employ will determine how quickly this can move along. Either way, you need to have enough confidence to just make your move. Now, before you approach the girl, keep this in mind. If this is a girl you have just met, don't go with the intention of trying to make her your girlfriend. I mean, don't approach her saying you want her to be your girlfriend. Do you understand that? Now, in Ghana, where I'm from, there are a lot of people who would just walk up to you after seeing you the first day and just say, I love you. And you're left scratching your head because you're like, you don't even know who I am. How do you love me? Men who fall in that category are hardly taken seriously. I'm saying if you just met the girl, the approach should be completely different. But I'm guessing that whoever you have your eyes on is someone who's not new to you. This is someone you've seen maybe over a period of time, maybe in your neighborhood, maybe in your class, maybe at work, or just at like events that you both sort of end up being at. Reach out to the girl and just offer yourself. It's always great to start from a friendship angle. And mind you, the way you continue on that tangent will determine whether you actually end up in the friend zone or if you actually go on to have a meaningful relationship with her. If you end up in the friend zone, I have yet another video that will show you exactly how you can get out of it. I'll leave a link to that video in the description as well. Number 4. After you've decided which approach to use, be it in person, through another person, etc., and you've approached the girl, assess her response. If her response was negative, as in straight away she told you that, listen, you're not my type of guy, or she just gave you negative vibes, stop right there. Let's start from the beginning, from number 1, and approach another girl. If it's positive, however, know that you have a better chance at actually landing her as your girlfriend, because it means that she likes you back, or at least there's something there. You know, if there's a little spark, at least you can get a fire. But if there's no spark at all, then you're fighting a losing battle. Number 5 is to take action based on the response you got. So like I said, if it's positive, now's the time to really make an effort to get to know her. Set up dates where it's just you and her, get to know her friends, her circles, get to even know her work colleagues if that is really important to you. But really, the whole essence of this pointer is to have a full assessment of the kind of girl or woman she is. And that would help you be able to sort of tailor make the kind of approach you will need to use to grow that relationship. For instance, if she seems to be a religious girl, or if she seems to be a girl who likes to go out often, having that knowledge can help you decide on whether you should be inviting her, for instance, to your church, or whether you should be going out to events in the club with her, because that's the kind of thing that she likes, right? That information is just going to really help you along in building something more meaningful over time. Do not jump into sex so quickly. Let me tell you something. Unless a woman is giving you the vibe that she actually wants to engage sexually, steer clear of it. I know that for men it might be difficult because you're attracted to this person, and whenever she's close or you're in her presence, you know, things might be happening to you that might even, fair to say, be out of your control, right? But I believe that the longer you hold off, especially when she hasn't given you any indication that she wants anything sexual too soon, the longer you hold off, the more respect she will have for you. Pick up on her body language. Listen intently to some of the things that she talks about when it comes to relationships and what she wants and what she expects from her partner. That will be a good guide for you as to when to go ahead or when not to. Better yet, if you're in doubt, simply ask her thoughts on premarital sex. There's some women who are big on holding out for the one that she loves or holding out until you get married. And there are others who do not mind. You need to know early on what kind of girl you're dealing with. If she wants to hold off till marriage, are you willing to make that sacrifice? If she also doesn't mind getting intimate, what will that mean for you in the long run? But I guess the crux of this point is really to make you understand that for most women who are worth their salt, sex is not the first thing she wants to engage in when she meets you. She wants to be sure that you're actually there with good intentions. You're actually for real, because most likely if she's an average woman, she gets a lot of men hitting on her on a daily. And she wants to be sure that she's not just giving up the cookie to just anyone. Finally, be the person you want to date. Now, I've said this in a social media video that's gone viral in recent days, that there are too many people who expect a certain kind of love, but are not willing to give that same kind of love to the people they're in relationships with. And I also mentioned that you cannot demand what you're not willing to give. And then I concluded that statement by saying you need to be the person you want to date. Sometimes we have unrealistic expectations of the people that we find ourselves in relationships with. We demand so much from them, and yet we're not willing to do as much to keep the relationship going. It's double standards. And a relationship cannot survive such expectations. So if you expect your wife, your girlfriend to go 100 miles, you should be willing to do at least 100 or surpass that to keep your relationship going. That's the only way that you will succeed at having a meaningful, loving relationship that will last long. Well, I hope you found these tips helpful. If you did, do me a favor, smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, as I have so many more videos that can help you improve on your relationships. I'll see you in the next one. My name is Jessica. Cheers.